Hey, what's going on, everyone? How y'all doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and this is my spoiler review for The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 9, The Phantom Apprentice. It is a mouthful of a title, but that's all good because this is leading us towards the end, and there is a couple decent revelations tonight to let us know exactly where we are in the timeline and just how much time we have left until the ultimate end. And I'm not going to lie, tonight's episode, amazing. I loved it. It was 26 minutes of pure animated Star Wars goodness. Hopefully this arc will do quite a bit. So let's just jump into the story here. So of course it picks up where the last episode left off, where Maul has Ahsoka, and he's more or less just kind of telling her what's going on. Maul at this point in time doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care. He is looking for allies he can trust. He is looking for anyone who will follow him, at least to a point. And he doesn't care who knows what's going on. Like, who knows about Sidious? Because he starts dropping his name like a lot, letting people know what's going on. Because it's at this point, it's the inevitable. He knows what's inevitably coming. He knows what's inevitably going to be happening. And he is trying to thwart a bit of it in order to be able to, well, kind of get his own power. And as we find out in this episode, he actually had intended this trap not for Kenobi, because we kept thinking that Kenobi was going to be the reason why, to get that revenge. He wanted the revenge for losing half of his body. But in reality, he wanted to take out Skywalker because he knows that Skywalker is the linchpin to everything, and he doesn't want Palpatine, Sidious, getting that far ahead. So that was interesting to see his plan start to play out, and he's basically just telling Ahsoka. He's just kind of telling her, not all right now in this particular scene, but throughout the course of the episode, he just kind of like unloads information like a Bond villain. But I'm okay with that because I like exposition. And the other part of the episode is ultimately the taking out of the Maul's Mandalorians, and to have the new Death Watch, whatever they're called now, more or less take back over Mandalore and save the day. Although it may not be as good, because we do get a couple scenes where the clone troopers are having to escort civilians away, and the civilians are not too happy with the Republic being on Mandalore, and that could have some long-term political repercussions, provided that we actually get to see any of that, which I don't think we will. So first up, let me talk again a bit more about Maul in this particular case, because Maul was in top form throughout the whole episode. Sam Witwer did an excellent job voicing the character, and it just made me love Maul all the much more. It just really made me fall more in love with that character. And I know his ultimate end, we all know his ultimate end if you've seen Rebels, but just where he is from now until then, and knowing that he survives everything going on at this moment, makes me really question what is going to be happening with his character going forward. And I do wonder if they are going to find a way to bring more of Maul as we get into this, because he's such a compelling character where he's driven by anger and by vengeance and by the quest for power, that I want to see the Crimson Dawn. I want to see all the stuff from Solo, which has yet to take place, but I really am hoping we get more Sam Witwer. Also, we have Ahsoka, who this episode did something I wasn't too sure she was going to do. She actually contemplated the dark side, but not, I think, for the reasons why many people would contemplate going to the dark side. When Maul reached out his hand and asked her to take it, I first was like, damn, because this seems to be a thing, because the Maul knows that he's not Palpatine's apprentice, but he does kind of need his own apprentice. That's why they call it the Phantom Apprentice, because that's kind of what he is at this point. He knows his role in all of this, but he still wants to do a power grab, and he still wants to offset the balance and screw over Palpatine, so he needs Ahsoka. And Ahsoka's like, look, I'll do it, but you got to answer me a question. What do you want with Anakin? And at this point, then, he fills her in, and she basically goes, nah, dude, F that. We're going into this, and I'm going to be talking about that fight here in a second. But, Ahsoka is a crafty character. She's a very good, crafty character, and she played Maul. She played right into his trap, or she played him right into her trap, really, because she wanted info. So she said, yeah, I'll help you out. And then he again, dumped like a dump truck, just gave all the info in the world. So there's that. We also got the Obi-Wan cameo appearance in the episode. Not much going on here. He just kind of instructs them a little bit about what's been happening on his end. But we do find out that this episode takes place after the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith. So Shaak Ti dead. She's gone. She's dead. However you want to look at that, how whatever your head canon is for how Shakti died, she pretty much dead at this point. And now Dooku is dead, which I was kind of hoping we were going to see that, if I'm being honest with you. But I get why they didn't do it. I totally get that. And now Anakin is a spy for the Jedi Council to Palpatine, which we know from watching the movie. But what I like about this was Anakin, or Obi-Wan, was unsure. He was really unsure of what to think. He was unsure about the whole thing. And even Ahsoka's like, Palpatine's been a mentor to Anakin. He's been a friend all these years. This is not going to make Anakin feel good. And Obi-Wan's like, yeah, no, I get it. But he's, again, more forthcoming with information, at least more forthcoming about his concern. And he even says, look, the Jedi Council can get it wrong. And that's, I don't know if that's the last time we're going to see Obi-Wan before the end of the series, but this is where he popped up, so we kind of can see where it is, at least in Revenge of the Sith. Coming off of here, we get to see a little bit of Bo-Katan. She got a fair amount of action in this episode, which I liked. This is a shot of her at the end when they are storming the bridge to take out the final bit of the Maul Mandalorians. But she did take on Gar Saxton earlier on in the episode in an epic battle between the two of them, more or less, where she damaged her jetpack while trying to stop elevator. It was cool nonetheless. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed it. But we haven't gotten much out of her to be a bit of a meaty character. She's there. I like her. We've gotten more from her in the past, but at this point, it's clearly she's in no way the focus of the show. Not only that, but we had the assassination of Olmec, which, again, we all knew Olmec was going to probably kick the bucket at some point in time or another. Maul knew he was captured, sent in Gar Saxton to take him out. Gar assassinated him, but this is where Ahsoka gets a little bit of that information about, about what's going on, about how Maul had a vision of Anakin, about Anakin being that one. And so at this point, this is why she did what she did earlier on, because she had this piece of information so she could use it to her advantage. Again, I'm not really worried about missing this guy, to be honest with you, because he's kind of a douche. Now, Gar Saxton, I honestly thought at first was a Vizsla, because his design looks like a Vizsla, and he's voice acted by Ray Stevenson, who I'm a huge fan of, and I didn't even know that it was Ray Stevenson. I'm like, give him more to do. Give him more to do, goddammit, because this is the kind of stuff I want to see. This is the kind of character I love. Ray Stevenson, Rome from 2006 cemented him as being one of my top tier favorite actors of all time, and I want to see him in more things. So give him more to do. He survived the episode. He was captured. We'll have to see if there's anything more in store for him. Although there's only like 2 episodes left, or 3 episodes left, I think. No, there's like 2 episodes left. So at this point, anything could happen, but I don't think we're going to see more of him. And then, of course, let's talk about that fight. This is what everyone's been waiting for since the trailer. This is what threw John Campea into a schoolgirl hissy fit over Ahsoka v Maul, thinking that just Dave Filoni's pet science project, because that's what he did. No, but to fans who wanted to see how this thing was going to play out, it'd be Apprentice v Apprentice. This is like sidekick versus sidekick, essentially. And so people wanted to see it, but the thing is, Ahsoka, in my opinion, was really no match for Maul. He outperformed her left and right, but only she got the upper hand because there were distractions, and she was able to use a couple things, but like her force abilities. Other than that, she did not have the ability to outmatch him. Look at this here. Like, they end up going to the top of this structure, and they're fighting on these beams. Again, the cinematography of the episode is pretty goddamn fantastic. The whole thing is great. I loved it. But what's great is this shot right here, where she's lost her lightsabers. He's got the upper hand. He sits there and says, look, come with me. Come with me, holds out his hand again to give her another opportunity, because he is desperate at this point. And she is then able to get the upper hand on him. And as he's falling, she force holds him in place until the clone troopers show up, and they grapple him. And this is what I love, this shot of Maul right here, because the shot of Maul right here, I couldn't capture it in a screenshot because it happened so quick, but there's a flash of fear. And throughout all the years, the 2 decades we've been following Maul as a character, how often do we get to say there's been a flash of fear? He fears Sidious. He knows what's coming. He wants some semblance of power, but he still wants to stick it to Sidious. He wants to get back at his master, who cast him aside. And in that moment, he's like, you don't know what's coming. There's fear. And I thought that was excellent. This episode all the way through, amazing stuff. Like, I'm going to rewatch the last couple episodes, not the middle section. That was pretty bad. I didn't care for the middle section of the show at all. The middle arc with it doesn't even matter. It was bad. It wasn't good. This is top tier Star Wars. This has the potential to be better than a lot of what, like, probably the entirety of the sequel trilogy, which is saying something. But what it also goes to show you is that Filoni does fundamentally understand what Lucas is going for with Revenge of the Sith and where the future of Star Wars is. What was awesome about this episode was that fight scene was an actual kick-ass lightsaber battle that we would have seen in Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith. They brought that kind of acrobatics, which is what was missing from the sequel trilogy. The lumbering, slow, medieval style fights are what we got in the sequel trilogy, and I'm not necessarily against it. I do like a good choreographed sword fight. But what we got here were the acrobatics. What we got here were Force users using their powers against each other in an actual fight to the death. It felt like there were stakes. It felt like there were things that were going on. It felt awesome to watch, and it's such a good thing to see, and I'm so happy the way it turned out. And what I loved at the beginning of the episode was there was a moment where I could hear like a little bit of Duel of the Fates come in, a little bit of that come in, kind of, again, making you feel like we're back on Naboo instead of Mandalore. Maybe I misheard it, but to me, that's what was there. But at the, for what's coming next, I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I don't know what Ahsoka, because this is all Ahsoka's final arc, leading to her probably becoming the new Fulcrum, which she already, I think, used that name anyway. So what, who's she going to team up with? What's going to happen? Is she going to start the Resistance or the Rebellion? Is she going to start the Rebellion? Because she obviously played a big part in that, 18, 19 years down the road. So we don't know what's going to happen in the meantime. So anything is possible for what's coming next, but still, I think Maul's going to play a big part. Sam Witwer has said that what they do in the last couple episodes are freaking amazing. And so he's fully aware of what's going on, and he seemed excited, which tells me that there's still a bit more Maul to deal with. I just don't know necessarily to what extent, but whatever it is, I'm there. Thursday night, midnight, and then Sunday night at midnight, we get the final. It's going to be a big week. We'll do a live stream talking about the series finale. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. And again, may the Force be with you. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.